Today we're here in Miami again. We're at Finish Strong Academy and Performance with a friend of mine who I grew up with, Dwight Crews. What he's doing in the fitness game down here with the children that he's impacting, the high schools that he's impacting is incredible. This man has a story that I believe will be inspirational and impactful for you and your children. Tune in.
I was born to live the life that'll supersede me. I dreamed it, but I know they probably ain't believe me. Destined for these shoes, been for all these foreigns. Bottle after bottle, this the life, so keep pouring. I grind for this forever. I ain't going back, I ain't going back. I'ma live like this forever. And that's a true fact, had to work for where I'm at.
Today we're talking about dreams. Y'all know what the platform is. We're talking about dreams. So we wanted Dwight to tell us, how did his dream start with Finish Strong? Dwight, Finish Strong. Hasn't been around that long, but you put in the work and now you're making a big impact here in Miami. Tell me how the dream started.
It all started birthed out of being a sports guy myself. Down here in Miami, I saw that there was a niche between actual coaching and actually having athletic training. Mm-hmm. And so, once I seen that through my son, me training my son, parents asking could I do their kids, and then, the abundance of the training that's not being done out here, right, kind of birthed that dream maybe to start Finish Strong and to be able to create a platform for youth kids to be able to have athletic training.
Right. Now, we grew up together, so I know you've been in sports a long time.
Yeah.
Tell me, you was in high school with some great athletes.
That's correct.
Tell me, what obstacles did you see, what downs and pitfalls did you see growing up and seeing those guys go on to do something that you wanted to do, and how did you get back into yourself?
Well, I actually moved. We played together, a lot of these guys in the NFL right now, I know. We played together all the way up to about 8th grade high school, middle school. So I wound up moving down south to a much sturdier, profound school, which is Miami South Ridge. Right. So it was a tough battle that I faced, trying to get on the field. You had to work extra harder to get out there, and if you was on the field, you deserved to be out there. Right. But the man behind you was just that good as well. Yeah. So basically, we had that situation, and I was able to play. I still was able to hold my own, and able to go to school. And then as far as like obstacles, it was more so the transition coming from what I'm comfortable at and known at to being in an environment that don't know me. Right. And I had to reprove myself again. Right. You know what I'm saying, and what I was capable of doing. So that's one of the biggest obstacles that I had, making the transition from Coconut Grove to Cutler Ridge. Right. Okay. So let's get more into failures. Failure is something everybody deals with. Everybody deals with, but they deal with it differently. Sometimes failures in a person's life can completely derail them, and they just give up on everything, every dream, every possibility. They give up on faith because failure is, let's just say, it's a heavy burden to carry. Yes. Tell me, what mindset did you have to take on to overcome failure? Strength. Yeah. After a while, I got saved probably in 2003, maybe, so four, okay, something. I can't remember the date. So, once I knew that I could do all things through Christ who strengthens me, that was enough for me. Okay. That was enough for me. So once I knew that and understood the power that he had and that he gave me, I was there's nothing I can't do. That's how I feel. Okay. There's nothing I can't do. So at the end of the day, once I realized that, I took everything head on. So Dwight Jr. is born. Finish Strong hasn't even been thought of yet. You're not training. Full-time City of Coral Gables, part-time ministry. Dwight starts playing football. Correct. What do you do? I begin to coach, and what winds up happening is training comes out. All right, I begin to take him to practice hour before, going over drills and stuff like that, and then next thing you know, over the years, we come back home. He starts to play ball at Palmetto Raiders when he was 8 years old, and for the next, I would say, 5 to 6 years, maybe 7 years, I began to build training and do certain things, and then once he graduated, I built a company from him. Okay. So, is it fair to say that your son being born and his getting into sports sparked the dream of Finish Strong? Yes. Okay. So, now, you're training, you decide to do it full time, you decide to do it and follow your dream and training professionally. How do you go about it?
What obstacles did you face in going about it?
Well, number one is availability.
Yeah.
I had to take low-paying jobs, certain schedules in order to do this.
Right.
Thing about training and operating this business is that you have to be available. And I had to work at night, take a part-time job here and there, be sleepy at times, just so I could be available to train. You know what I mean? Everybody's on different schedules. Some parents have different schedules. Some kids in different sports, different seasons at the time.
Yeah.
So, being an athletic trainer, performance trainer, I had to be available. And that was one of my biggest obstacles, just trying to make ends meet in the beginning. A lot of sweat equity, doing things for free. Taking this guy if he's marketable, using this guy, making this guy get paid. So it was a lot of different things, crossing the board that I had to kind of like figure out from 1 to 2 and the 2 times 2 to figure it out, to get to where I had to go.
So you put in the sweat equity. Finish Strong is born 2017?
Yeah.
Finish Strong is born 2017. And then you start getting more clients, but you're into the schools, the high schools.
Yes.
In the local area.
Yes.
What are you doing with the high schools?
So now I've been last 2, been hired as a speed and strength coach at one of the high schools out here locally. I actually got a call yesterday from another private school.
Okay.
So one of the things I prayed about, and actually within my fiscal year, which is January, is that this year I wanted to grow through brand and partnerships.
Okay.
All right. So if you have a private company, like let's say somebody has a private basketball team,
Right.
They want to bring me in to train their whole team.
Right.
So I want to expand my territory through partnerships with other sports brands. So when schools calling me, I'm infiltrating schools now.
Right.
I'm looking to do small private basketball clubs or soccer clubs. So things like that, and it's been happening. It's been happening so far.
So you're building Finish Strong, but what do you want your impact to be on those that Finish Strong touches?
I would like them to understand what God has given them inside of them.
Right.
As an athlete and as a person. You know what I mean? Training hard and developing things that yields determination.
Right.
Self-discipline.
Right.
Stuff like that. So when you're training, you don't know what you're capable of doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you're like, well, I can do this. Like, so, your motivation, your drive, all that stuff, you can use anywhere in life. So as long as they do anything they do here can also carry it to your personal life. I take my competitiveness to everything I do. Whether it be brushing my hair, like, boy, I'm gonna get these waves. I'm telling you, man, I'm gonna get them. You know what I mean? That come from playing football. Right? Well, I beat you running, man. You know what I mean? So take your drive and everything you have, even if it's coming from the sports side, it's everything you have in your life.
Lucid dreams, basically broken down as you're being able to control your dreams while you're sleeping. You're basically living a lucid dream. You're living your dream and you're controlling the narrative.
Yeah.
How has faith played a part in your dream?
Faith played a part because I listened to this one guy. His name is Dr. Miles Monroe.
Okay, yeah, I know you're talking about.
He said this, it's the nugget. He said that a vision is something you accomplish while you're alive.
Right.
A dream outlives you.
Okay. Yeah.
Martin Luther King said, I have a dream that one day. So it didn't happen
Right.
when he was here.
He didn't even see it.
He didn't see it. But his vision was that we stop the whites and blacks.
Right.
The dream was that one day,
We live together and everything. Yeah.
Right. So for me, I understood the fact that when I wrote out my vision and make it plain, this has to happen.
Right.
That's what the scripture tells us.
Right.
Write it out and make it plain. And it's gonna happen.
Right.
Most of the time when we get into business and we doing our dream, we don't understand the vision of it. The vision is gonna happen.
Right.
When I look into this business, I didn't look at it like I'm starting a new Google or a new Facebook.
Right.
I'm just getting a piece of part that was already here. You know what I mean? So it has to happen. I just had to walk it out.
Right.
You know what I mean? And my ultimate dream is to one day create the presence of a sports brand down south to ultimately put us on the map. Because right now we have no sports training facilities down here. All the NFL guys always go up north.
Right.
So I know what needs to happen. Might not even happen during my time. But because I could create that platform, maybe someone will come along and take the torch when I started.
Right.
Build it down here. We don't have any big time stadium down here.
Right.
That has a swimming pool and a sports complex. We don't have a sports complex. So these are things that I dream about.
Right.
The big time, things. But
things that will outlive you.
Outlive me,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So for me, I walk out my vision right now. I wake up every day knowing exactly what I said is going to happen. It's going to happen.
Wow. Yeah, yeah.
You know, whether I'm tested or not, you know what I mean? I embrace it.
Right.
I embrace it.
So speaking of legacy, are you preparing your son to take over?
Yes. The thing about that is I spoke with my son. Good question. You know, hey, nobody want to do it, and he doesn't see it right now.
Right, right.
He wants to do his own thing, but I already know what God got for him already.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and I'm preparing him. I always tell him all the time, you know you're supposed to be over here.
yeah, yeah. Just dropping those seeds and those nuggets. Yeah.
But you want to take your path, son, don't get no problem.
Yeah.
But you'll be right back shortly.
Yeah, you don't have to take these kicks and punches for a minute and come back to the fold.
I'll wait on you know.
Because it's legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that. Man, that's incredible. What would you have to say to the dreamers now from someone who's an achiever? You have achieved your dream. You have more to do because dreams evolve.
Yes.
The dream was to start, finish strong.
That's right.
You started it, you're walking it out, you're walking out the vision.
Yeah.
The dream has evolved. It has grown. And most people who have dreams and achieve them, that dream then evolves, becomes something bigger, something better, and you start thinking about legacy.
Yeah.
What is it that you as an achiever would tell a dreamer right now to prepare for?
The test, the perseverance. You know, what is it going to take for my dream to come true? The funny thing about it, we don't know.
Right.
We just got to walk it out.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you don't know about tomorrow. Today is full of itself. So at the end of the day, you got to take it one day at a time and take one step after the next step after the next step. There's been times where, you know, I wanted to give up.
Right.
But I knew it ain't in me. It's just not in me to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So times I question, man, I can't do this.
Yeah.
You know, but that's what the opposing force wants you to say. It wants you to say, okay, oh, that wasn't really your dream.
Right.
All right? I like the word dream chasing. Chase your dreams. Mm-hmm. If you run away from it, chase it.
Chase it down.
Chase it down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how I do it. I go back and I regroup. I go back and I reprove. I go back and I evolve it. Maybe if I made this mistake here, I go here. But when you're doing what you call it and your dream is your purpose, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. Now, there's a recipe of things that you might have to test it on, go through, learn, revolutionize, but at the same time, it's still your dream.
And what was the saying you told me about the testing?
Embrace the test.
Embrace the test.
Yeah.
Because they're going to come.
Yeah, you have to.
They're going to come. And anybody building something, anybody chasing something, the tests are going to come. And I think from my experience, most people aren't ready for the test.
No.
And it's a good thing. You lock into the dream, you lock into the vision, you see the end goal, but that end goal is gold. It's gold.
Right.
It's shiny and it's beautiful and it's attractive.
Yeah.
But it's the grime and the slime and the dirt that you have to crawl through and punch through and fight through that are the tests that get you to that.
See, I remember, you got to do something long enough to bear fruit.
Right.
And the funny thing about it, we don't know how much time. We don't know how long it takes. First of all, God don't bring time.
Right.
So I don't put a time frame on nothing I do.
Yeah.
You know, and at the end of the day, you know, once you get up and understand that and walk it out, all those things become a part of it. When I get a test, my answer to the test is part of the process. Okay. It hurt though. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well, it hurt.
Yeah.
But you got to endure it.
Yeah.
And those endure to the end. You know what I mean? So you have to walk all the way through to do it. The same thing I'm talking about with Brad.
Right.
A fellow friend of mine, same way. He understood that.
Yeah.
He was tested.
Yeah.
He was tested. And if I get a diamond, man, is that real or fake? Let me get the tester.
Right.
You know,
I'll make sure.
I'll make sure.
Yeah, not waste my time to keep it. Yeah.
It's always a standard.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want to be tried by that. So I'm going to be the standard. So you think you're a good trainer? Come see me. You know, that's just the nature of the beast of achieving the dream.
Yeah.
You know, for example, you asked me about faith. I never forget this. When Jesus was on his cross, he said, if I knew this cup was going to be this heavy, I would have came down here.
Right. Because he asked God to move the cup from him. Take the cup from him.
He had to go through that.
He knew he had to go through it.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. And speaking of that, when I don't know if many people know that Jesus actually asked God, hey, don't let me go through this.
Yeah.
I don't want to be put on this cross because I know what's about to take place.
Yes.
And this is a little much.
Yeah.
Even I know who I am, but this is
Yeah.
the reason he kept going is because of the discipline
Yes.
and the obedience he had to the Father.
And he knew his calling.
Right.
He knew what he had to do. He had to, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I take that, and that's how I pray. That's how I pray when I'm tired. That's how I pray when numbers are low.
Yeah.
Whenever something's going on, I just think about that all the time, man. And people, I don't understand how people get strength without that. That's just how I pray.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
no, that's good.
yeah, that's pretty much the nuts and bolts of. That's why my company's called Finish Strong. It doesn't matter how you start.
Just finish strong.
You got to finish strong. You have to finish.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. You have to finish your race.
Wow.
Finish your race.
Hey, man, this conversation has been impactful. This conversation, I hope, will motivate and inspire you to continue to chase your dreams. Once again, we're here with Dwight Crews here in Miami at Finish Strong. We know what he's doing. We know that he's walking out his vision, and we know that the dream he has is going to come to pass because this man has too much faith for it to fail. So we'll see you next time on Dream Movers. Thank you.
Destined for these shoes, here for all these foreigns. Bottle after bottle, this the last, so keep pouring. I grind for this forever. I ain't going